Hey guys, this is Wendy with the No Debt Mindset. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm here today to talk with you about step 2 in the plan for eliminating or reducing your debt. So my step 1 video talked all about how you gather your information, you gather your bills, your account numbers, your balances, and you write those down or put those in Excel spreadsheet. At the bottom, I also listed our utilities so that I could use that sheet to create a budget. So I hope that you've done that, but if you haven't, be sure to do that first, and then we'll move on to step 2. So be sure to make lots of notes and replay this as necessary, because this is going to be the bulk of the entire program that we used to get out of $52,000 worth of debt. Okay, so this is the part where you're actually creating your plan. Based off of the information that you have available to you, you're creating a plan to get out of debt. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to identify which bill or bills that you want to pay off first. Some people go from lowest to highest in balance, and some people like to pay off their higher interest rate bills first because that's what's actually costing them the most money. But that's your choice because this is your plan. So with that information, you create a budget. So at the top of your budget is your income, of course, or your expected income, and then you subtract out the bills that you're going to pay out of that paycheck. I usually do my budget at least a month at a time, so I list across the paper or the Excel spreadsheet. At the top of each pay, I'll put the income that's coming in, and then under that, I'll minus what bills I'm planning to pay out of which paychecks. And then I'll see my balance at the bottom. The balance at the bottom should be your spending money. So hopefully you have discussed with your spouse or decided on your own what your spending budget weekly is going to be. And I have 2 other spending money videos under the No Debt Mindset. There are 2 other spending money videos. In one, I give you all the details on how we're handling our $300 a week spending money, and in the other one, I draw it out for you on a piece of paper so you can see it really simply. So I suggest that you go out there and look at that, because there's really 2 components to this. One is how you budget and pay your bills, and which bill you're paying off and how you do that. And the other is how you manage your spending money. Because if you don't manage your spending money properly, you're going to have to spend it on bills, or you're going to be increasing your debt by paying those bills with credit cards. That is not what you want to do. So once you get your budget created and you home in on that bill that you're trying to pay off, so you're going to actually add money to whatever bill you identify. You're going to add money to that every month until that bill's paid off. And when that bill's paid off, whatever you were paying to that bill plus the extra can be used somewhere else. And then you're going to start working on your second bill. You want to definitely celebrate. Write the stuff down at the end of each month, whatever you have accomplished. And if it is paying off just a bill with a $20 balance or a $50 balance, write it down. If it is canceling a gym membership, write that down. If it is that you shopped out your car insurance and you're saving $500 a year, write that down. If the balance of your mortgage just went below $100,000 for the first time, write that down. Be sure to celebrate everything as if it is the biggest thing in the whole program, and that's what will keep you excited and moving forward. Be sure to examine your bills also. Look at that. Look at your detail. Look at your detail on your checking account. Look at the detail on your credit cards. Make sure there's no subscriptions on there you need to cancel. Make sure nobody is actually taking your money that shouldn't be. Look at your detail. Look at it often. Be sure, even after I've paid my bills on Friday, by Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm checking our checking account to make sure the right amount of money is coming out and it matches in the end once those bills come out the balance that I thought it should be, that everything matches so that I can make sure nobody's taking my money. Okay, so I do want to share something with you guys. When we went through this program the first time, we had one credit card that was huge. The balance was huge. And I contacted a company called InCharge Debt Solutions. InCharge Debt Solutions. No, they are not paying me to advertise for them. I believe they're located out of Florida. They negotiated with our creditor our interest rate. They negotiated it down from like 21% to 9%, and then a fixed payment every month is what we agreed to. Well, I went ahead and I accepted the payment for like 4 to 5 years. I can't remember, but it was much longer than I was going to be in the program. And that way I could keep that payment really low while I was paying off my other bills. That freed up money for me to pay these bills off, and then I could come back around and get that credit card paid off. And the cool thing about using InCharge is that once we had all these bills paid off and we started working on that credit card, they do not care if you contact that credit card and make huge lump sum payments on it. The credit card is happy to get paid, and InCharge will not charge you anything or penalize you for paying off early. As a matter of fact, they will congratulate you, and then they'll mail you a congratulation letter. So something that might be considered a downside to using them is that you have to agree to not use the card. And if I'm not mistaken, you may have to agree to not apply for any credit while you're paying that off. You'll have to check with them and see if I'm correct on that. So I did wonder, what if we needed a vehicle, what would have happened? But we did not need a vehicle during the time. It only took me 2 years. But then I thought, even the best laid plans, there are always things happening. Life happens. And what am I going to do when life happens? And I think that's why people don't do this. I think people are like, but why when I need something, I won't be able to use that anymore. So what I did was I opened us an account with an Amazon store account, not a credit card that I could use all over town, but an Amazon store account. And I made an agreement with myself that I would only put things on there that we needed during this bill payoff process. So for instance, when my daughter needed 4 tires, and my savings account had already been depleted for another emergency, before I could get that savings account built back up, we had another need. So we ordered the tires and paid on those. But the agreement I made with myself was, if I didn't have any more than the minimum payment during the bill elimination period, I said that would be okay, because at the very end, when all the bills were paid, I looped around and I paid off that Amazon store account. I did use it some for Christmas whenever I didn't quite have enough money to get all the presents I needed. I used it for some birthdays, but only for needs, and I kept it to a minimum. So what did that do for my debt elimination journey? Well, what that did was, when I had it planned for 2.5 years, then it ended up taking me about 3 or 4 more months. But I stuck to my word with myself, and I looped around and I paid that Amazon store account off. So you may want to check into that with InCharge Debt Solutions. They're very easy to work with, but make sure that you understand everything before you agree to that. I'm just letting you in on that secret that helped us get our bills paid off. And the other thing that I want you to know is I added Credit Karma to my cell phone, and that is an app where you can check your credit report regularly. You can even look for detail on it, see if there's anything that needs to be disputed, and it's a no fee to you, or it's been no fee to me. The way they got paid at the time whenever I used them was credit card companies make offers to people through that app. You have to be diligent and go past that part. You have to get really mad at your own debt, so mad that you cannot incur anymore, and just go past that and don't accept those credit card offers. But I do use Credit Karma as a tool because I loved watching. My credit was down here, and then as I paid off bill by bill that had my name on it, it would creep up and it would creep up. And then if there was something that happened and I had to use some credit for something, it would creep back down and then it would creep back up. But it's just good to keep an eye on it so you won't be surprised if you do need to go buy a vehicle. There will be no surprises. There should not be any surprises because you are working on that. And I think also being able to check my credit along with my spreadsheet and paying the bills, it just helped in the whole fueling me to just keep moving forward and moving forward. So I think it's exactly what you need. One thing that I didn't mention, I'm looking at my notes so you'll have it all. I didn't loop back around and mention how many bank accounts we have, and I have told this in a prior video. I told you to go out and look at how we manage our spending money. Well, we have 4 bank accounts, and the first one is a spend account, which I'm actually changing the name of that to reserve account, because it's not really meant for us to spend that money every week. But it's like if you go on YouTube and you look at videos called about sinking funds, that's kind of what I'm using it for. If we know we're going to go on vacation, if car insurance is coming up, for car maintenance, we may decide to save $1,000 for car maintenance. Right now the balance is at $500, but we will increase that balance, and that is money that we know we will spend. Since I am a stickler and I do not like the term sinking funds, I'm calling it my reserve account. So that's my first checking account, and the second is our bill account. One of the best things we ever did was separate our money from our spend money and our bill money, because when we had one checking account years ago, I was constantly spending so much time trying to figure out, had these bill checks cleared yet? If we write this check, will we bounce the check? And it's kind of ridiculous. I can't believe it took me 10 years to realize that I needed to separate that. So I did it, and I suggest that you do it. You will be so happy if you do. Okay, 2 savings account. The first one is our emergency short-term savings account with a balance of $1,500. That's supposed to help sustain us through this program. Lots of other programs suggest that you save your first $1,000 and start paying off your bills, and you can do that. This is your plan. But we've decided on 15, and we're also going to work to slowly creep that up to $2,500 during the next months that it takes us to actually get our bills paid off. So we're going to get that up to $2,500, but you do whatever you want with your balance. The last account is our long-term savings account. That will be an unlimited balance. So once our bills are paid off, we will turn our attention towards our emergency savings account balance and our long-term savings account balance. We'll also look at 401k and investing, and we would love to take you guys along with us on that journey too. I hope I've given you enough information today to be able to get your plan together and get ready for January 1st or any other time of the year that you want to get started on this. If you would like, put any comments in the comments below. I'll be happy to help you. Again, I'm Wendy with the No Debt Mindset. If you would please subscribe to my YouTube channel, I would appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a great day.